Your father's €370,000 debt wiped clean, plus €2,000 every month after that. She spun around abruptly and saw Nicholas standing at the end of the corridor, his platinum cufflinks glinting with a cold light, identical to the one his father had lost in that bet last time. He swirled the champagne in his glass, the liquid splashing onto his expensive suit trousers. The new assistant? I heard you're in desperate need of money. Elena clenched the cheap voice recorder hidden in her backpack, its metal case dug into her palm until it ached. Suddenly, she thought of her father fidgeting with the pocket of his work pants. The patches on those pants were nothing compared to the depth of her despair. Now, as Elena stuffed the last faded white shirt into her suitcase, the sound of her father pacing back and forth outside the door suddenly stopped. She looked up to find him standing in the shadow of the doorframe, his gaunt fingers repeatedly twisting the pocket of his work pants. Pants he'd been given when the factory closed a decade ago, the patches on the knees now worn shiny. Do you really have to go? His voice, rough as sandpaper, trembled with every word. Elena's fingers paused on the suitcase zipper. Outside the window, dark clouds were pressing down on the old house's roof. The bank's coming to repossess the house next week. She yanked the zipper shut in one sharp motion. The crisp click of the metal teeth locking into place echoed through the tiny room, a sound that reminded her of the clink of chips spilling from her father's pocket when he'd stumbled home from the casino last time. Her father's neck shrank involuntarily, as if burned by the noise. The glass curtain wall of Madrid airport refracted sunlight into blinding shards. As Elena dragged her suitcase past the sign that read, Nicholas Holdings, held by a man leaning against a pillar, still rubbing sleep from the corner of his eye, he glanced at the frayed, pilled cheap blazer she wore and sneered. The new assistant. When the black car pulled into the shabby apartment building, Elena gripped the strap of her backpack so tightly her knuckles turned pale. Headquarters is under renovation, the driver said, slamming on the brakes without glancing back. The cigarette stains on the steering wheel stood out sharply in the sun. Temporary office space. Make do. The elevator lobby's walls were peeling, and a faded gym advertisement clung to one side, the model's muscle definition blurred by dampness into indistinct splotches. When the elevator stopped on the 12th floor, a putrid stench, a mix of cheap air freshener and rotting takeout, rushed in as soon as the doors cracked open. A lopsided acrylic sign hung on the wall at the end of the corridor. The edges of the words Nicholas Holdings cracked as if kicked. Deliver this contract to the CEO's office. Marta, the receptionist, slid a blue folder across the desk, her bright red nails clacking against the keyboard. The corner of a bedazzled phone case peeked out of her drawer. Third door on the right. Don't go snooping. Elena counted to the third frosted glass door. Just as her knuckles were about to touch the cold wood, her phone vibrated in her pocket. A message from an unknown number slid down her spine like ice. Be at Four Seasons Hotel Room, 2806 at 8 p.m. Your father's debt will be fully forgiven, plus an extra €2,000 per month. A harsh scraping sound, a chair being dragged, came from inside the room. Elena stumbled back, her lower back slamming into the water cooler. The plastic bucket wobbled with a dull thud, and murky streaks of water snaked down its sides. She practically ran back to the reception desk, where Marta was touching up her lipstick in a small mirror, her lip line crooked and uneven. Is this part of the normal job duties? Elena pressed her phone screen against the counter. The cold from the glass seeped into her palm. Marta twisted the lipstick cap shut with a crisp click. A Romanian girl ran off crying last week, she said, pursing her lips in the mirror without wiping the lipstick smudged at the corner of her mouth. Guess how many hours her desk stayed empty? Elena followed her gaze down the corridor. On the empty desk, half a box of unopened instant coffee still sat, its label yellowed with age. Elena's eyes drifted to a copy of the company's business license taped to the wall. The Amsterdam postal code and the registered address was smudged, as if the paper had been copied repeatedly, and faint coffee stains dotted its edges. Suddenly, a man's laughter drifted from the depths of the corridor, mingled with the clear clink of glasses, a sound eerily similar to chips hitting the table in a casinoed eye in the bathroom stall. Elena switched her phone to airplane mode. The screen's glow turned her face pale. She turned on the faucet. The gurgle of running water barely drowned out the muffled sobs from the next stall. Was that the former owner of the empty desk? She didn't know. When she splashed cold water on her face, she looked up at her reflection in the mirror, her eyes red enough to bleed. When she returned to her desk, her computer screen lit up automatically. A new message popped up in the internal messaging system. Sent from CEO Nicholas. Made up your mind yet? The suite in room 2806 is ready. As Elena stared at the blinking cursor in the reply box, she suddenly noticed a minimized window in the corner of the screen, an open bank transfer page. She didn't recognize the recipient's name, but the memo line read Employee Benefits. The new girl. The woman in the adjacent cubicle leaned over, her diamond earrings glinting so brightly in the light they stung Elena's eyes, until she leaned closer and realized they were plastic, tiny frays sticking out from their edges. When the woman caught sight of Elena's screen, she lowered her voice, her breath smelling of mint gum. Don't use the company computer for personal stuff. There's monitoring software on the hard drive. A downpour hit just as they got off work, fat raindrops pounding against the windows with a loud, crackling noise. Elena stood under the apartment building's eaves and watched Marta climb into a black Mercedes. As the car window rolled down, she caught a flash of platinum cufflinks on the man in the driver's seat, the exact same style as the one her father had lost in the apartment elevator. Elena stared at the text message, her fingers pressing so hard against the screen they grew hot. When the elevator stopped on the 15th floor and the doors began to open, she suddenly slammed her hand on the button for the first floor. She thought of her father fidgeting with his work pants pocket. She couldn't give in like this. At the convenience store checkout, she bought a notebook and a cheap voice recorder. Water droplets from the plastic bag left dark stains on the counter. The clerk asked casually, "Out in this rain, girl?" She didn't dare answer. Back in the apartment, Elena tucked the voice recorder into the inside pocket of her blazer. The fabric pressed against her skin, a faint, hard bump. Outside, neon signs flickered to life. The words Four Seasons Hotel blurred into a red glow through the rain, like a bleeding wound. She opened a job search website and saw that Nicholas Holdings' recruitment posts refreshed every hour. The position changed from assistant to administrative staff to clerk, as if mass harvesting people as desperate as her. Elena's fingers hovered over the keyboard. Those constantly updating job listings felt like a silent mockery. She slammed her laptop shut. The clatter of metal startled the woman in the next cubicle. "You okay?" The woman's plastic diamond earrings glinted as she turned her head. Her fingers, painted with nude nail polish, rested lightly on the partition. Elena noticed faint ink stains under her nails, as if she'd just been writing something. Elena forced a smile. The receptionist said, "This is part of the normal process." Huh. The woman leaned in closer, the smell of her perfume mixing with mint gum growing stronger. "No, why none of her desks have drawers?" She tapped the empty desktop, her voice dropping even lower. "Last week the police did a surprise inspection. Marta cleared all the files in 3 minutes. No drawers mean we can't hide anything." A sharp, twisting pain seized Elena's stomach. She pretended to organize her papers, sneaking a glance at the security camera at the end of the corridor, its red indicator light burning bright and harsh. I play dumb?" The woman pulled back instantly, pretending to focus on her screen as her fingers tapped randomly on the keyboard. "I suggest you do the same. Unless..." Her eyes darted to the outline of the voice recorder peeking out of Elena's pocket. Her face paled, and her voice trembled. "Oh, God. You're not trying to get evidence, are you?" "Elena." Marta's voice echoed down the corridor, her high heels thudding against the carpet like blows to the heart. "The CEO's asking if you finished reading the contract. Quit stalling." The woman immediately turned back to her computer, typing with exaggerated speed as if hiding something. Elena grabbed the blue folder, then remembered what the woman had said and darted toward the finance office. Marta's access card was still where she'd seen it earlier, lying on the edge of the reception desk drawer. She gripped the card, her fingers whitening with tension. With a soft beep, the door unlocked. Inside, the air smelled of dust. The bottom drawer of the filing cabinet was unlocked, and inside lay several thick ledgers. When she flipped one open, dates were followed by euro signs and room numbers. The memo line marked team building fees, but the amounts matched the price of suites at the Four Seasons exactly. Elena stuffed the ledger in her backpack. Just as she was about to leave, she heard Nicholas's voice from the corridor. "Why's the finance office door open? Who's in there?" She held her breath and ducked behind the filing cabinet, listening as his footsteps grew closer. Just as his hand was about to touch the cabinet, Marta's voice rang out. "Sir, Miss Sophia is here. She's waiting in your office." Nicholas's footsteps froze. He cursed under his breath and walked away. Elena leaned against the cabinet, her back soaked in sweat, the sharp edge of the ledger digging into her ribs. When she returned to her desk, the adjacent cubicle was empty again. This time, the woman's plastic diamond earring lay on the keyboard, a note tucked underneath. "I'm leaving. Going back home to open a small flower shop. Good luck." Elena closed her hand around the earring. The cold plastic helped calm her. "Your resignation form." Marta appeared behind her suddenly, her voice tired. "Sign here. Hurry, Sophia's waiting." As she bent down to hand over a pen, her necklace swung forward. The photo of a girl inside made Elena's eyes widen. The girl in the photo wore the same plastic diamond earrings as the woman from the adjacent cubicle, and her features bore a faint resemblance to Marta's. "Is that your sister?" Elena's voice trembled, Marta's hand paused. She tucked the necklace back into her shirt. "Sign the form." After Elena signed, Marta suddenly grabbed her wrist, her grip tight. The fire escape. Go now. The security camera blackout time is almost up. Her lips barely moved, her voice soft as a breeze. I beg the maintenance guy. He'll give you a few extra minutes. Nicholas was still in his office, yelling into the phone. She's just a regular applicant. I wasn't looking for anyone new. Stop being unreasonable. The wail of an ambulance grew louder outside, drowning out the creak of Elena pushing open the fire escape door. The stairwell reeked of mildew and cigarette smoke, cigarette butts littering the steps. When Elena reached the 8th floor, the sound of high heels running up from below reached her ears. It was Marta, her stockings torn, blood seeping from a gash on her calf. She clutched a USB drive in her hand. Take this. It's a copy of the client list I snuck. 3 of them are city officials. She pressed the drive into Elena's hand. Elena felt dried blood on its surface. My motorcycle keys under the trash can by the back door. The pink helmet's hanging on the handlebars. Hurry. Why are you helping me? Elena gripped the USB drive, her fingers white with tension that Marta's mascara had run, black streaks streaming down her cheeks. 3 days after my sister died, Sophia sent a bouquet of white roses. The note said, "No one will compete with you for resources now." She suddenly shoved Elena toward the stairs, her voice breaking. Go. They changed the camera blackout time. You'll be trapped if you wait. On the 2nd floor, Elena heard a man's roar from above. Nicholas. She burst through the emergency exit door, and rain soaked her instantly. Her phone vibrated in her pocket. She didn't need to check to know it was Sophia. She felt around under the trash can and found the motorcycle key, the cold metal easing her panic. Marta's pink helmet hung from the handlebars. A small sticker on the windshield scrawled in marker. Sister's birthday is March 15th. Elena's fingers slipped on the motorcycle's handlebars as rain poured down the pink helmet's windshield. In the rearview mirror, the fire escape of the apartment building suddenly lit up with a harsh red glow, the lights of a fire truck. Fuck. She twisted the throttle hard. The USB drive dug into her ribs through her pocket. Her phone vibrated again. She freed one hand to pull it out. The video Sophia had sent made her breath catch. It was a security screenshot of her waiting for the car downstairs that morning, her father's figure visible in the window behind her. The caption read, "Stay away from my husband, you bitch." Elena's tears mixed with rain, blurring her vision. She bit her lip and twisted the throttle all the way. The motorcycle raced through the downpour like a streak of pink lightning. When the blue and white sign of the police station emerged through the rain, Elena's jeans were soaked through, clinging to her legs. The on-duty officer looked up from his coffee, noticing her dripping bangs. Reporting a crime? Sexual harassment, economic coercion, and collusion between government and business. Elena's voice was hoarser than she expected. She pulled out the old phone, the USB drive, and the thick ledger. These are the evidence. The door to the office at the end of the corridor suddenly opened. A man in a leather jacket stepped out, holding a coffee cup with cookie crumbs still stuck to the rim. Carlos, Anti-Harassment Task Force. He glanced at the waterproof bag and ledger in Elena's hands and frowned. Nicholas Holdings again? How did you know? The residue from the sticky note, left by the woman from the adjacent cubicle, still clung to Elena's fingertips. Carlos set his coffee cup on the reception counter. Cookie crumbs spilled from the bottom. A Romanian woman reported them last month. Her evidence got accidentally thrown away by the cleaner. We couldn't press charges. He took the USB drive and plugged it into his computer. The blue glow of the screen reflected on his face. Got any solid proof this time? On the screen, Nicholas was holding a champagne glass out to a girl, his voice seductive. Your debt fully forgiven, 2,000 euros a month. Just stay with me a few times. In the background, Marta's cough could be heard, soft but clear. Jesus. Carlos suddenly paused the video and zoomed in on a blurry filing cabinet in the corner. See that blue folder? That's their ledger. Last time we did a surprise inspection, they swapped it for regular employee dinner reimbursement forms in 3 minutes. We couldn't find proof. He turned to Elena, a flicker of excitement in his eyes. Where did you get this ledger? The finance office. Marta helped me get in. Elena's voice steadied slightly. She also said Sophia's brother is a city councilman. They have connections protecting them. Carlos grabbed his walkie-talkie, his voice urgent, calling headquarters, requesting backup. Target, Nicholas Holdings' temporary office on the 12th floor. We need to seize all documents. He hung up and turned to Elena. Is your father really at Odessa Casino? I don't know. Elena wiped rain from her face. The video Sophia sent might be faked, but my father does owe money to the casino. Her voice grew quieter as she thought of her father fidgeting with his work pants pocket, a sharp pain twisting in her chest. The moment the police sirens wailed, Carlos suddenly pressed a hand to Elena's shoulder. Stay in the car. Don't come out. Sophia's people might be nearby. He pointed to the security monitor, where a red dot was moving. See that red dot? That's Sophia's car. Her brother's a councilman. We need to be careful. The Mercedes parked downstairs was reversing, Nicholas's car. Through the rain, Elena watched Nicholas jump into the back seat. His platinum cufflinks glinted for a moment in the gap of the car door before the vehicle sped away. She gripped the motorcycle key, its metal teeth digging into her palm until blood seeped out. "Move out!" Carlos's shout mingled with the crash of a door being kicked open. Elena saw all the lights on the 12th floor go out suddenly, leaving only the red glow of the fire escape, bright as a wound. As the police rushed into the apartment building, she saw Marta run out of the fire escape, holding a folder. Several officers followed her, but she didn't resist. She only glanced back at the apartment building, her expression complicated. The old phone in Elena's hand suddenly started playing a recording. Nicholas's voice, distorted by static. "Tell finance to inflate this month's team building fees to cover the previous deficit." Elena pressed pause, tears streaming down her face again. "I in the police station." Carlos flipped through the ledger, his frown deepening. All these amounts correspond to suite numbers at the Four Seasons. Some even match government office addresses. The collusion between government and business is confirmed. He looked up suddenly. "We've contacted the police in Odessa about your father. They said the casino's been shut down, and he's currently giving a statement at the police station. He's safe." Tears burst forth from Elena's eyes, all the tension she'd been holding collapsing in an instant. She pulled out her phone and called her father. The moment he picked up, his hoarse voice came through. "Lena, are you okay? The police said you helped them crack a case." "Dad, are you all right? What about the casino debt? The police said the casino was illegal. The debt doesn't count anymore." His voice trembled with sobs. "I'm back at the old house. I planted sunflowers by the door. The neighbor gave me the seeds. They'll bloom by the time you come home." After hanging up, Elena wiped her tears and saw Carlos holding a photo. "Do you recognize this?" The photo showed Sophia and Marta standing together, with a banner reading Women's Entrepreneurship Support Program in the background. Sophia smiled brightly, while Marta stood beside her, her expression stiff. Did they know each other before? Elena asked in surprise. Sophia is the vice chair of the Women's Entrepreneurship Support Program. Marta applied for funding once, but Sophia rejected her, saying she wasn't qualified. Carlos set the photo down. "Marta helped you because she wanted revenge on Sophia too." Just then, Carlos's walkie-talkie crackled to life. "Carlos, Marta says she has important information about Sophia's daughter. She wants to talk to you." Elena followed Carlos to the interrogation room. Marta sat inside, her hair messy but her expression calm. "Sophia's daughter is named Marta Sophia, the same name as my sister. She has leukemia and needs a bone marrow transplant, but Sophia refused to look for a match because the treatment costs too much." She paused. "I helped you because I wanted Sophia to feel the pain of losing a loved one. But now, I hope you'll help find a marrow match for her daughter. The child is innocent." When Elena walked out of the interrogation room, the TV in the lobby was playing the news. Nicholas was being led out of the apartment building by police, all his previous arrogance gone. The news reported that Nicholas Holdings was under investigation for organizing prostitution and colluding with government officials, and 3 city government officials have been taken in for questioning. That a month later, Elena sat by the floor-to-ceiling window of her new office. Sunlight filtered through the glass, casting dappled light on her face. She ran her fingers over her employee ID. The gold-embossed words, "Senior Project Manager," still felt warm. Her phone vibrated. Her father had sent a photo of the sunflowers he'd planted by the old house's porch, their golden petals blooming brightly. "Ms. Elena," an intern knocked hesitantly, holding a folder. "The reporter from Business Weekly is here. She's waiting in the meeting room." Elena adjusted the collar of her blazer, noticing faint green stains under her nails, left over from helping her father fix the fence the other day. In the meeting room, the female reporter was adjusting her voice recorder. When she saw Elena, she stood up immediately. "Ms. Elena, I heard you turned down a headhunter's offer of double salary to stay at this company focused on women's rights. Could you tell us why? Some things are more important than money." Elena pushed a teacup toward her. The bottom clicked softly against the glass table. Her eyes drifted to the bruise on the reporter's wrist, its shape identical to the marks left by a 4-line on Marta's arm. The reporter pulled her hand back self-consciously and smiled. "I got pushed by an abuser last week while interviewing at a domestic violence shelter. It's nothing serious." Before she finished speaking, her voice recorder slipped to the floor. As Elena bent down to pick it up, she noticed a Band-Aid on the heel of the reporter's high heels, its edges frayed. "Let's change the topic." Elena pulled a folder from her drawer, a workplace anti-harassment guide she compiled. "I'm more experienced in this, and it matters more." Her fingers paused on the page titled Elevator Self-Defense Techniques. Faint coffee stains dotted the edge, from the cheap coffee she drunk at the police station. Hurried footsteps echoed down the corridor. The HR director poked his head in, his tie askew, as if he'd just woken up. "Elena, that Romanian girl's here again. She says she wants to talk to you." His disheveled appearance reminded Elena of Nicholas's loose-tie clip, and a faint discomfort stirred in her chest. A girl in faded jeans stood in the reception area, one strap of her backpack broken and tied together with string. Elena walked over and took her trembling hand, feeling fragments of a job advertisement stuck to her palm. The words New Asia Trading Company printed on it, a new company run by Nicholas's associates. They said they'd advance me 3 months' salary if I take the assistant job. The girl's earlobes were still bleeding, as if she'd roughly torn out her earrings. But their office is in an apartment building too, just like Nicholas Holdings, like you told me. Elena pulled a tiny camera from behind her brooch, a gift from Marta, who'd said, "You'll need this someday. I'll go with you to the interview tomorrow. We'll collect evidence. We can't let them hurt anyone else." The HR director coughed behind her, looking embarrassed. "The board's asking about the anti-harassment training. Will we still be able to hold it this month?" "Tell them," Elena said, gripping the girl's cold hand tighter, her voice firm. Employee retention rates went up 18% last quarter, and the anti-harassment training was key. We have to do it. She felt the edge of a pill box in the girl's pocket. The name of the anti-anxiety medication on the label reminded her of the woman from the adjacent cubicle, and a faint sadness washed over her how a downpour hit just as they got off work. The same rain that had fallen the day she left Nicholas Holdings. As Elena walked toward the subway station with an umbrella, someone suddenly pulled her into an alley. It was Sophia, her hair cut short, her left hand still wrapped in bandages from when she'd been arrested at the clinic. Satisfied now, Sophia's voice was filled with resentment, her perfume mixing with rain as she stepped closer. "My husband's rotting in jail, my brother got fired, and I can't even pay for my daughter's chemo." Page 15 of the court verdict, Elena said, tilting her umbrella towards Sophia, letting the rain soak her shoulder. "It lists the testimonies of 6 employees your husband sexually assaulted and records of you helping him destroy evidence. You deserve this." Her eyes drifted to the necklace around Sophia's neck, the same style as the one in the photo of Marta's sister. "I've already contacted the bone marrow bank about your daughter's match. We'll get results next week." Sophia froze, tears streaming down her face mixed with rain. "Why are you helping me? The child is innocent." Elena pressed the umbrella handle into Sophia's trembling hand. "Bring your daughter to the hematology department at Santa Ana Hospital tomorrow at 9 a.m. I've already talked to the doctor." As she turned to leave, she heard a clink of metal in the alley. Sophia's pocket had spilled the platinum cufflink, the one that belonged to Nicholas. The subway window reflected Elena's blurry silhouette. She pulled out her phone. Her father had sent a photo of freshly baked cookies, the frosting scrawled with "For My Hero." Her lock screen showed Marta's pink helmet glowing in the sun, next to a field of golden sunflowers. Next stop, New Beginnings. As the subway announcement played, Elena tucked the tiny camera Marta had given her into the box of a new personal alarm she'd bought. Outside the window, a billboard for a women's entrepreneurship incubator flashed by. The shabby apartment building was now painted bright yellow, a sign reading "Women's Shelter" hanging above the door. Laughter from children drifted out. Elena smiled and pulled out her phone to send Marta a message. "Your sister's birthday is almost here. I planted lots of sunflowers at the shelter. Let's see them together when you get out." The reply came quickly, just 3 words. "Thank you." Elena put her phone away and watched the scenery fly by outside the window, a sense of calm settling over her. She knew a new life had begun, and those dark days would never return.